Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us in this video. We are talking about Mary Free Bed and talking about the world of rehabilitation. We've got some great guests today for this conversation, looking at physiatry and how a physician plays their part in rehabilitation. We've got a great group of staff here that are working in this conversation. We're going to go around the circle here and have everybody introduce themselves. Joyal, Pavey is going to be helping me with some of the questions that we're asking to our two wonderful physicians. Joyal, why don't you introduce yourself to our viewers today?
Hi, everyone. My name is Joyal Pavey, and I serve as the Vice President of the Mary Free Bed Advisory Group. And that's the division of Mary Free Bed dedicated to consulting and partnerships.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having us and joining us, Joyal. Dr. Bruinsma, why don't you introduce yourself for us?
Yeah, I'm Benjamin Bruinsma. I'm the Chief Medical Officer at Mary Free Bed, and I'm running the stroke and amputee program.
Excellent. And then Dr. Lamm, why don't you go ahead?
I'm Adam Lamm. I'm a brain injury physiatrist working mostly in the outpatient side of the hospital. Also serve as the residency program director and designated institutional official for the hospital.
Great. Just some great expertise that you guys are bringing to the table to just talk about how a physician works in the world of rehabilitation. So Dr. Bruinsma, you've mentioned your role here as Chief Medical Officer, but you've been here for a good long time. What are the types and areas of rehabilitation that you work with the most and you love working with?
Yeah, I kind of see all things rehabilitation, but my main focus is people with amputations as well as strokes. I've been stroke and amputee director for over 30 years at Mary Free Bed.
And you've seen a lot of change and a lot of growth for us too. So has that been fun seeing just us impacting and reaching and touching more people?
Yeah, we're seeing more and more patients. And of course, our outcomes are very good. So we're definitely helping these people.
Excellent. And then Dr. Lamm, tell me a little bit more about your role, especially with the residency program that you helped to lead.
Sure. So I came on to Mary Free Bed in 2020, and then shortly after became the associate program director, and then in July of this year became the program director. And so in that role, I get to work with a lot of our attending physicians and faculty on kind of the training and learning environment for our residents, making sure that we're helping to train kind of the next generation of rehabilitation physicians, many of whom we've kept on as staff at our own hospital.
That's awesome. That's exciting. And then Joyal, you want the next one?
Oh, sure. Dr. Bruinsma, what drew you to start working here at Mary Free Bed?
I was born and raised in Grand Rapids, and during my residency, we were able to do away rotation. So I said, I'm going to come over to Mary Free Bed because I really like Grand Rapids. And I knew it was a world-class facility. And I spent 2 months at Mary Free Bed. And I loved the facility. I loved the people that were working here. And I said, I really want to come back here. And so I took a job at Mary Free Bed.
And how many years ago was that, Dr. Bruinsma?
It was 34 years ago.
That's amazing. Wonderful legacy you're leading here at Mary Free Bed for us.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Lamm, how about you? What brought you to Mary Free Bed?
So I had a little bit of a geographic connection, kind of grew up in northern Indiana, and always kind of wanted to return back to this part of the country. But really the thing that drew me to Mary Free Bed was having a new and growing residency program and kind of a growing medical staff. It was kind of an exciting opportunity to start kind of joining, not necessarily on the ground level of the residency program, but I always kind of say I got to start on the second floor of it. And it's been really fun to kind of see it grow and flourish over the years and really have some early success with our trainees. So that was one of the big things that drew me here. But it's one of the things that I really love about the job and getting to work with our faculty. It's definitely one of the highlights of my day.
I think you're the highlight of many of our patient and staff day as well. They all enjoy working with you. So Chris, turn it over
Dr.
to you.
Bruinsma, so we really pride ourselves here on our team approach, really just working across disciplines and working together. What makes us so special in the way that we do that? And why is that so important in a patient's recovery?
Well, again, the rehabilitation, it's a team approach. We use nurses, physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, recreational therapists, psychologists. And the layout of the hospital here as an inpatient is that we are right next to each other all the time. We have team meetings weekly, but we can just walk down the hall and there's someone that we need to talk to. And they've typically talked to their other partners, and it just allows for good communication. And then I do a lot of outpatient prosthetic work, amputee work. And we have a very tight team, and we communicate with each other easily, again, because we're all in one area. The prosthetics are made right here. The therapy is right down the hall from the prosthetic clinic. And it just allows for very good communication and team approach.
Excellent. And then another one for you, Dr. Bruinsma, the technology and the latest therapies that we're offering to our patients. How does that the things that we're just trying to be as cutting edge and forward thinking as possible, how does that help their patients in their recovery?
I work with a lot of people with amputations, and we're using cutting edge material components. We're working with the power knee. We have myoelectric upper extremity prosthetics. We have myoelectric knees. Our therapists are trained in GMI, which can help with people with phantom pain. So we're kind of on the cutting edge of the orthotics, prosthetics, and rehabilitation.
Oh, that's awesome. Exciting. Just great to see the newest, latest things coming out to help our patients.
This next question is really to both of you. You work with our patients sometimes at the most difficult times in their lives. Do you have any recent patient stories about recovery that really demonstrate how Mary Free Bed and our team has went above and beyond to assist patients in getting back to their everyday lives?
I guess I can start. I recently went on a trip to Guatemala. The guild at Mary Free Bed funded that, and we sent 9 people down to Guatemala to work with people who didn't have prosthetics or ability to get prosthetics unless we went down there. So the 9 of us, we ended up building 25 prosthetics, and now these people who had not been walking for 12, 14, 16 months are now able to walk. And that's all thanks to the Guild at Mary Free Bed for sponsoring that.
Wow, that's truly amazing. Thank you for your work on that.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I really like about just physiatry in general, but I think our team at Mary Free Bed does a nice job of is really trying to meet patients where they're at. Like you say, they're going through life-altering diagnoses a lot of times. And I think our team really helps them find what their own goals are and help them build and work towards those goals. So one that kind of came to mind to me was we had a patient for whom he and his family, it was really important that they get to participate in fishing. And due to some impairments, it was becoming increasingly difficult to kind of operate and handle a fishing rod and reel. And our team here really worked to try and fabricate a way to get a brace that would accommodate a fishing rod so that he could continue to hold the fishing equipment even after it might not have otherwise been possible. And so it's just one of those examples of not something that we typically do day in and day out here, but it's just in terms of that one brace, but it's what we do day in and day out, working in terms of working toward patient goals.
Absolutely. It's not good enough just to have the patient go home. They have to be able to live their lives again. And that's what you help lead our team to do every day. And we appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So we talked a lot about your medical expertise and experience. What other factors make Mary Free Bed a very conducive environment to facilitating excellent patient outcomes?
I think a lot of it has to do with kind of the size of the organization in a lot of ways and what that brings to a medical group. We have a really diverse group in terms of expertise, training backgrounds, and different institutions that they've all come from. We also have a lot of what I would say are kind of early to mid-career physiatrists, and it's really helpful to kind of see them grow and also to be able to kind of communicate between them. I think we collaborate a lot, not only between physicians and therapists or physicians and nurses, but also I think physician to physician. There's a lot of strength in being able to go just down the hallway and ask a colleague a question about a patient. And I think that's one of the things that we do really well here. Beyond that, I think our network really prides itself and works hard on trying to integrate itself into the health systems with which we partner. So that we're not just on the receiving end taking patients once they're ready for discharge, but partnering with those institutions to help get those patients to us effectively and efficiently and in as safe a manner as possible.
Yeah, and that's kind of a good transition for this next question. So this goes to Dr. Bruinsma. So Mary Free Bed was just recently ranked number 10 in the U.S. U.S. News and World Reports, where they rank specialty hospitals, rehabilitation hospitals. And so it's a great accomplishment for us. And I think that people who are looking for that care after a brain injury, a spinal cord injury, and they're trying to think, where's the best place to go? Sometimes they rely on those rankings, and that kind of can help determine them. So how, Dr. Bruinsma, how does physician involvement, in their opinions of these hospitals affect that ranking, and why is it important to be high on those lists for patients to look for you for their rehabilitation care?
I think one of the things of the physician involvement at Mary Free Bed is that we have a lot of specialty trained physicians, like Dr. Lamm said, and he's one of them. We have extra activity, education with our physicians, and he said a lot of them are mid-career, and there's some like me who are a little older and have some experience. So I think we have some extra training and some extra experience. And that, again, that's going to help with our keeping on our toes, because we can, like Dr. Lamm said, we can just walk down the hallway and get some education from one of the other faculty members. And the other thing that he didn't mention, which I think is very important, is because he's humble, is that we have a very good residency program, and that's going to keep all of the attendings on their toes, because they're going to have to keep up with everything. So I think that's what keeps us all on the cutting edge of rehabilitation.
Oh, great. Well, excellent. Well, thank you for that, Dr. Bruinsma. Dr. Lamm, for a physician out there who might be looking to vote into these specialty rehabilitation programs, why should they vote for Mary Free Bed?
So I think it's a good question, and I think I would say that I hope that Mary Free Bed is able to earn your vote. I think if you look at what our organization has done and is doing for patient volume, patients served, and also the outcomes that we're able to achieve with our patients, return to previous level of function, return to home, readmission rate, I think our team does a really wonderful job in all of those metrics. And I think that level of expertise, strength of the medical staff, and kind of our outcomes, I would hope kind of speak for themselves in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would encourage not just to vote because we're asking you to, but I think to really look at what we're doing, compare our numbers, and I hope that we can earn your vote for a top hospital.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. From our team here at Mary Free Bed, we really appreciate you taking some time to learn a little bit more about our organization. We wish you guys the best. Thank you for watching, and stay well.